Know what I mean? It's that feel in the wind. What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovus TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then where you been at? Come on in. Over here, we deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, Popovisms 101, and some motivation. If that sound like something you can rock with, then before you diddy and dance your way to the exit, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, smash that notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos. And if it's not your first time, I always think of my nigga Chris. And if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, thank you. But you know how I do. You know how I start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. We in the end game. There's a lot of news out there, a lot of stuff, but obviously the biggest news pretty much in the world of sports, you know, hip-hop, sports, entertainment. Tom Brady said, I'm coming back. And not like Mike with the 4-5. It's more back like, mama, you miss me, don't you? Haters wish you could hit me, don't you? But you should call me uncle. I understand I'm back by popular demand. That new CL fly outside of Popeyes eating chicken and fries. But come holler at your uncle. Yeah, back by popular demand. Like, shout outs to Clips and Cam and them. Obviously, they killed that shit. Classic. And it's big news, and it's like, yeah, but a day later, dollar short in the sense of, yeah, football season is down the line. Like, Sunday fun day, that shit is over. Right now, it's all about the NBA. Yeah, you know, Major League Baseball, they came to the solution that made dollars, so it made sense, and they ended the fake little lockout. Seemed like every other year they try to shimmy y'all with the, you know what I mean? Get some attention, look at me, and we're going to talk about that. Because KD said, I mean, everybody want attention. But Brady coming back, is it a factor? I mean, like, he is the GOAT, right? So I did the intro like that. You should call me uncle. I understand. I'm back by popular demand. Yeah, it is going to be a factor. Even though this shit is scripted, like, you know what I mean? Like never before. I already gave my future, which was dirty soda in the style. No, not that. But Green Bay and Seattle on some early bird, like throw a little chicken dinner on there and see if it baked with the cakes. Like, you know what I mean? See if some returns come back. It's possible, but Brady coming back, yeah, now they get a chance to high step it with the free agents. Got a lot of free agents, got a lot of moving pieces, and I'm not a team owner, or I never played that fantasy draft shit on Madden. Rest in peace to the Madden. Like, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, John Madden. I never did all that. Franchising the team, building the team like some of the young kids today. They build their whole face, they whole player down to the mustache, down to the sneakers. You know what I mean? You know, we rock the cozy soles. We rock the cozy soles when we in the crib doing the show. But they break this shit all the way down to the last compound. Like, you know what I mean? See how it sounds? They do this shit down to the jersey stitches and all that. And I'm being funny, but I'm not. I done sat in the room with a couple of my cousins, small boys, and they'll sit there just on hours just getting the details right of how they want to look when they get on the court. But most of the time it's just sitting behind the game. But anyway, yeah, I think that just adds another team. Obviously, the NFC is kind of being viewed with the weaker eye, if you will. Obviously, you got the Rams, you got Green Bay. They signed discount double check, even though he ain't been looking good in the last 2 years in the playoffs. That is playoffs. Yeah, don't talk to me about playoffs, because in the regular season you just winning games. And the playoffs come, you getting bumped out. You getting bumped out. And I'm being funny, but I'm not. Obviously, last 2 years, 2 times, you're out of here. Like, oh shit. Do you ever think about when you out of here? Your record deal, video, you know what I mean? Your Range Rover, Mercedes Benz, that shit is out of here. Like the people in Ukraine, they shit is out of here. Walking long distances, like this shit is in the Bible days. Walking some people just to get over the border. Remember when they ain't have shit to move around. But yeah, you got the Rams, you got BraDY, you got I was about to say Favre, because they both got one. You know what I mean? Who's the better quarterback? Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers? How many they got? One. Peace. Same franchise. You got Aaron Rodgers. And then after that, you might get a drop off. But the Saints, they might get Deshaun Watson. We spoke about him in the other video. Let's chat about him real quick while we talking about the GOAT. Cause you know, now the charges is not as stern as we thought, or it's not enough evidence, I should say, to move forward. So there'll be no criminal charges brought. So he on the back line with Saints. I think he was on the back line with the Saints, the Bucks, and I want to say another team. I can't think of who the other team was, but it's more than just the Saints. And you know, obviously the Bucks keeping their ear to the street. Like Jada said, you think you got your ear to the street? I put your face in the ground. They got their ear to the street. Like, yeah, we can use somebody like him. Meanwhile, Colin Kaepernick, he on the back office doing the workouts and all out, trying to get back to, you know, a place that he say is not fair, and a lot of funny style, like a lot of, I mean, buffoonery remaining at an all-time high. And I never take shots or shit at, you know, individuals that, you know, stand for something. A lot of people don't stand for shit. They ain't about going to do nothing. They ain't going to do nothing. They ain't going to do nothing. They don't stand for shit. Those are the facts. You know what I mean? And then you got people that do try to uplift and maybe move forward and try to do a different thing. But my whole thing is I'm not going back to nobody that's treating me bad. Or, you know, you hear, you know, what's the Flores, Miami, you know what I mean? And I fuck with Flores. Think he's a great leader of men. And obviously he's a player's coach. A lot of players like him. Like, you know, Flores. Shit he was saying. Like, what? Or they paid you $100K every game or whatever numbers he said, like 1.5 million, purple tape reference, no names, everything's clean. Say yes or no. Say yes or no, wiretap. And I'm being funny, but I'm fucking not being funny. This is what he's saying. He's like, yo, they try to give him 100 bands for each game he lost on the back end. Like his salary, I mean, on the back's a couple of people's salaries. On the back end, just to lose. And then I'm like, nah, I'm not with that. So integrity matters. Popovism 101. Is your integrity in check? A lot of people should don't. But that's why I be like, we authentic, integrity, you know what I mean? Intact. Not because we killed the 100. All right, so I think that Deshaun Watson will get a gig because he's definitely one of the most, you know, talented quarterbacks available. Obviously, last year been a stain on his record. But the point we was getting to is Colin Kaepernick is over there trying to get back. Side note, Deshaun Watson, I think he might go to the Saints, but what's going to happen to my man, Jameis Winston, him and Dak on that, you know what I mean, money dance. When you throw your money up, is they going to keep him? How is he going to be off the injury? And after that, it's this drop off. Seattle, are they looking for him? You know what I mean? How much money restitution he might got to pay? But that's my thoughts on BraDY. We'll get back to BraDY later. Like, it's a fact that I'm happy he back. It looked like he didn't really want to give up anyway. A lot of people saying happy life, happy wife, happy life, etc. Fuck your happiness. I thought this shit was 50-50. Like, but you got to be happy. You know what I mean? Like, side note, she's never happy. Shout out to my nigga Grizzle. She's never. Song is fire. You know what I mean? Red pill without being, you know what I mean? Without knowing. Anyway. He's going to sign to a team, and then we'll see what happens after that. But we'll talk about that later. Let's get to this other shit, which is, you see the thumbnail, you see, you know what I mean? Tony, there was no other way. You see the thumbnail, and you see the title. So the debacle that is RaYn, CoogLeR, you know what I mean? Wakanda forever. Rest in peace, obviously, Bozeman, you know what I mean? And, you know, iconic, obviously, box office, broke numbers and everything. But with a mask on and everything, you still don't know who he is. I'm sure she didn't. But let's just get right to the heart of the matter. Like, self-destruction in the heart of the matter. Like, you know what I mean? Why did she go back there talking about she felt or seemed like, or maybe, kinda, sorta, he was going to book them? I really don't understand that. I mean, not your first day at the job. And even if it was, like, with the information that he gave you, and then, okay, let's say she ain't get on the phone and call 911. Obviously, you going back and you running it through the system. We going to run this shit, know what I mean? See if it's foolproof or not. And you talk to the manager and the other clerk, and obviously we live. I don't got the shit on the TV. You can see it. We'll get that soon, though. Right now, it just is what it is. This is much easier. This is what I prefer. And yeah, I don't like doing all that, and I don't like all that. This is, let's go live, we rolling, let's talk about it. Let's get to the heart of the matter. You go to the BacK, right? And I never worked in the bank. My record wouldn't allow that. But you go to the BacK, you speak to the next in line, and you tell them, like, this guy wants to withdraw $12,000, and that's a lot of money. It's definitely a lot of money. He sent the note with the discretion, pretty much telling her to be discreet, like, listen, count it somewhere else, and woo. Y'all seen the shit they're spending this shit is like 4 or 5 days old or whatever. They agree with your logic that he is attempting to rob it. So y'all procrastinate, stall him. So the police can come in, for those who see the video, he comes and all, they come. Obviously, they pulling hammers out, so at the end of the video, like, y'all probably hear the sound of them Glocks. And he probably was scared to death. You know what I mean? I don't know what type of individual he is, a filmmaker. He might know martial arts and can defend himself to the third power, but who knows? He just seemed real subdued, obviously, in a situation like that. And a lot of people don't know how they're going to act when interacting with police. And as a person that, oh, yeah, I'm not an angel. I have plenty of interactions, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Good and bad, exchanges. And it could be nerve-wracking, you know what I mean? And you cannot know how to handle a certain situation. Your adrenaline is rushing, especially when you're in the fucking right and you're not doing nothing wrong. So you like how they be saying the privileged white line. At least that's how I be. When I'm in the riots, like, listen, what's the problem? What's your badge number? Why are you stopping? What's the problem? You know what I mean? Like, what's up? And you just be agitated, you know what I mean? And then some people be more, nervous, like a little shaky, a little nervous, nigga, a little shaky, a little nervous, shorty looking shaky, she a little nervous. And you be at the well doing, that's why you're like, can I reach, you hear people say that because they just don't want to get shot. And that's not even really over exaggerating or over embellishing, because we know we living in times where, yeah, Tony, there was no other way. And out of the 6,666 times, oh, you might get shot 200 of those. So you better move cautiously and do what they say. And that's being real. I'm not even being funny. Y'all know I'm being funny, but I'm not. I'm being dead ass. You will get shot out of those 6 million times. It's still a low percentage for the fucking other channels, people that be kind of like backing them. Yeah, it's still a percentage I don't want to be in. I don't want to get the phone call, see none of my loved ones laid out. But that's going, they came because she called them or the management called them. And it's like, why though? Why y'all just didn't go back to the front? You know what I mean? Like, no, you watching through the cameras and obviously you see he got a couple of dollars in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a millionaire. Obviously, I'm sure he just didn't have, 13,000 in there. Like, let me get 12. You know what I mean? And now it's looking like you only leaving $1,000. And even if that was the case, which is not, I got money. I told y'all niggas don't roll dice with me. And I'm being funny. That's a 50 Cent reference. Position of power. You got a couple of stacks in there, a couple of M's. You see all this clearly, like, just because he got a California ID, the curl in your stomach, like, just what was it? And then people, in the comments, I'll be running through these YouTube streets, running across these social media platforms, and they should have never. Like, yo, I'm here now. And they should have never let me. You know what I mean? In the game, that is. And so you get the funny feeling, people is in the comments. And let me just say this real quick before I get to the comments. I do think she should be fired. I think everybody that was involved in that should be fired. And this is the reason why. And y'all heard me come on here the other day. The hypocrisy. No, we just human. Even though I stand firm on the square, I don't just blow when the wind blows. Definitely not that type of individual. Certain shit I'm not budging on at all. To the grave. But they got training. They get training. If not, then they shouldn't be fired. But they have tests, you know what I mean? I know people that work in the bank. My sister was working there for a little bit of time, you know what I mean? And I know other people, you know what I mean, that worked in the bank. Do the math that you do, sir, you get screened. Like they run through a series of things, and then obviously when you get on the job, you know, they train you of how to do the transactions, how to do the shit. You know what I mean? What buttons to press on the computer, data entry, and you know what I mean? Obviously. That shouldn't be the go-to thing if something like that happens. And then again, it's not like she hit the button. I could see if she was scared. And like the movies, you hit the button, you know what I mean, and you George Bush the button, you know what I mean, and then now, woo, woo, everybody get the fuck on the ground. You went to the back first and had to talk to somebody. And then they had to say, damn, he gave you a note, said be discreet. This ID was good. Like, you ain't asked no questions, and even the man came, you know, and then it's just like, what are we doing? Like, Greeny in the morning after the butt fumble? What are we doing? I mean, I know everybody don't got common sense, and I'll be the first to say, I know I'm not the brightest. I mean, didn't finish high school, got my GED. Yeah, GED. Couple little trades and shit, you know what I mean? And overall, just read a lot. You know what I mean? And I know it's people academic, they got the degree, they're going to pull out, you know, I got the bachelor's, I got the master's, I got everything. I'm a PhD, being funny, but I'm not. PhDs, cool. Your grammar's correct. But that's just some dumb shit. And I wouldn't have done that. And a lot of people in the comments, back to the comments now, because I think they should be fired. Especially the person that's sanctioning it. You're supposed to be the safety net and say, hold on, like homie was trying to do to them. You're like, listen, just take a look at my ID. You know what I mean? Run it through Google. And when you would have seen Wakanda Forever, you know what I mean? You probably would have eased up a little bit. Take the cuffs off. Don't embarrass yourself. Had this shit on World Star, like, you know what I mean? They should have saved her from that. Because she was about to go commit suicide. You know how chicks be like, I look good in this shit. And bitch be like, you know what I mean? Take that off because you look horrible. But not hating, though. A lot of y'all be Subway hating on the low, that means. You know what I mean? You Subway hating. You know what I mean? Know she look good. She look better than you. You know what I mean? Give head better than you. Like, she look better than you. So you telling her to take it off. But I don't mean that. They're supposed to stop her from going outside like that. Like, nah. Switch it up on this one. Not really looking right. But instead, they let her, you know what I mean? Convince them. Yeah, we have you know what I mean, whatever in progress, you know what I mean? And we already know how it ends. Should he sue? Should he do this? Should he do that? Obviously, he seemed like he taking a high road on some real gentleman in the scholar. Like, you know, they use that term a lot of state. Like, you a gentleman in the scholar for just being courteous or being upright and moving, you know what I mean, with a certain type of energy. Because niggas don't have that. So it's like off the rip, you some scum of the earth ass nigga. Scum of the earth. Whereas opposed to you moving some type of moral principles, just certain shit you ain't gonna do. So people appreciate that. They be like, you know, you I know you don't have to do it, and it's not too many. Like Ho said, it's not too many of us speaking, I mean, Cove reference. But you a gentleman in the scholar. And he in this case, it's like, why sue? Because that's the first thing people got, like, people with no money act like money is in. So it's like, sue. Woo, 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 let's start a sushi next week. Like, you know what I mean? $500, I'm getting the money first. Always get the money first, right? So you could be like, yo, we can do it, but I'm getting the money first. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you for one of those winner chicken dinners. I'm not mad at you for that. Not at all. But they love get away with the dumb shit, convince them he don't want nothing, he's not suing, he already has money. So money isn't everything to him. You know, you still was sullied with the embarrassment and the stupidity of, but you're black. And people was like, why it matters to her race and she shouldn't be fired. Mostly women, not gonna front. A lot of women was like, she just doing her job. And again, it's not. Because sure, they train you to say, obviously somebody's not stealing from themselves. That's number one. Ding, 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 ding. No, he got the mask on, fucking mask off. Like, keep the mask on. You know what I mean? You still, everything is accurate. So, you know what I mean? See, he got millions. He not asking for 1.5? 1.5 million? He not asking for that? He only asking for 12. And there's millions sitting there. I'm just assuming. I wasn't in, obviously I don't know, but I'm just trying to go through all of the common sense things because I know I'm not the brightest, not the smartest. Like, damn, gotta be some CoogLeR, like some dodo bird shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it really is. And if I just want to reverse it, like, don't be whipped by that with that, you know, what if it was a guy? Like, what if it was, you know what I mean? What if it was him? You know what I mean? And or a race, and it was a white woman, then it would be like Karen. It would have been Karen to the fucking 100th power times a million. You know what I mean? Like, do the math. 100th power times a million. Do the math. Everybody job fired, hang her, put her on blast, show her face, do everything. People would have been outside her house dressed in the Panther outfit on some Wakanda Forever shit. Like, are you serious? But it was a black woman. But you're black. And you want to go where? You want to go South Africa? Joe Pesci? Lethal Weapon? But you're black. And it's like, damn. The instance, you know, I mean, you want to land, I don't know, I don't get it. I thought Atlanta was popping. I thought that shit was Wakanda Forever. So just to see some shit like that happen, again, I think, yeah, fire. Like, I know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail. When you fail epically, and those people that sanction this shit, that's how, oh yeah, it do sound like he go wrong. They should be fired too. And you can go work somewhere else. I know that's harsh. Because I was just up here like, you taking endorsements for people you don't know and stuff, but it's like common sense. And all, you know, sense ain't common, however it's spent and flung, then you shouldn't be working at the bank where you could get the director of fucking the Black Panther to walk in there one day and have to take out $12,000 for his assistant. This was the day, bitch. Like, yeah, this was the day, and you gonna learn. And you fucked up, big time. Like, you know what I mean? Not big time. People talking about your back because you're big time. Not that big time. You fucked up big time. Like, you know you done fucked up, right? Like that fuck up. At least to me. I know if I was running a business and I am a businessman and I know how I conduct business and treat people and etc. Customer service and how to, you know what I mean, move in the room full of vultures. Yeah, for real, yeah. Pop of his TV, we live, we rolling, we authentic, that feeling. Shit ain't just slogans. So I know what I'm talking about. And I know how I deal with people, and I know how I would want to be dealt with. So it's like, damn, you can't 2 and 2 and woo and ah. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a New York thing where shit don't ever sleep. But you is in Atlanta, place where they ain't even shut down their clubs during the pandemic. Like, what? What are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about Mayor Adams now. We off that. It's unfortunate what happened to him. Yes, I think she should be fired because it's just stupidity and everybody else. Maybe she won't. He ain't gonna sue. What do you think? In my comments is dry right now, but it's all good. Well, that's my thoughts on that. Let's get to this KD shit, though. Let's get to this KD shit. See what he was talking about.
This game went on. And second, just what was the feeling when Kyrie comes into the building and sits courtside, walks with you guys into the locker room, but obviously can't take 2 steps onto the floor and play?
It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand it at all. I mean, there's a few people in our arena that's unvaxxed, right?
Right now.
They lifted all of that in our arena, right? So I don't get it.
The second mandate that says he can come
I
in,
don't get it either.
can't play.
Yeah, I don't get it. It just feels like at this point now, somebody's trying to make a statement or a point to flex their authority.
Is it flexing authority?
But, you know.
That part I don't know.
Everybody out here is looking for attention, and that's when I feel like the mayor
Tony,
wants right now,
it's all for sale.
But he'll figure it out soon. He better. But it just didn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense. So Kevin Durant came out as, you know, Eric Adams, newly mayor of New York City. Welcome to New York City. Oh, let's check the score real quick because I got Milwaukee tonight and 1 pick, and I had Denver as well. Oh shit, Chicago is still fucking losing, and Milwaukee they don't let Utah come back, take the lead too. Just so we clear, it's 87-79. I got the Bucks with 2.5. This is currently on ESPN. Golden State is cleaning. Chicago is down 11. Zach LaVine played today. Lakers is down. I had Toronto. Lakers is Al Trashington. Sorry, Lakers. Like LA, big city of dreams. Let's get back to Kevin Durant though. Dropped 53. Beat my New York Knicks. Even though we had the Knicks with that 5.5. Oh yeah, we had the Knicks with 5.5 when we gave y'all that pick. We had some bad picks yesterday too, though, but back to Brooklyn. That's what we do every day. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. Wake up in the morning and every day I count stacks. Knew that it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, last night take an L, but in gambling, you taking risks, and, you know, fortune rewards the brave, you know what I mean? The fortunes, you know what I mean? The brave. Yeah, you got to take a chance, and you got to be in it to win it. I already came on here in a few other videos talking about the hypocrisy, if you will, just, you know, the stupidness of it. And obviously, I don't know the ins and outs. I'm not a politician. And yeah, I know it's politics as usual. Wow, I get that. But he came. I guess let's rewind. We already know he showed up at the game and was trying to decipher what type of jacket and shit he was wearing. But you know, what you wear is vocal. You know what I mean? The shit you be wearing make all hella statements. Support. Oh, black owned, but you're black. Shout out to my niggas. What you wear is vocal. You know what I mean? And what statements you making when you wearing your clothes? Y'all see me with the hats and shit. He was making a statement with the fashion and being at the game. All right, cool. They lifted the mandates. You can't go in there to the movies now, to dine, to the gym without showing vaccination, you know, proof. And prior to that, you did have to show that. You know what I mean? At least one shot, etc. Depending on the state where you at, where you put in the comments, as they say, when this shit is scrolling like this. Leave that shit in the comments. You can't. You lift the mandate, right? That's one thing. And obviously, Eric AdaMs came out and said, "What is it, a Boston rule?" Like, so he kind of already alluded to in the previous press conference that the shit don't make sense, and we need to have some structure and, you know, something that we could believe in. Like, you know what I mean, get put on a program or something, and we can say, all right, let's make a little sense. You know what I mean? You ain't, you know what I mean? 52 blocking me, and one for you, one for me, two for you. 1, 2 for me. Like, don't play me like I got a fucking flower pot head. And that's almost pretty much what it is. You know, the attention part and calling him out like he better. I get it. You in the press conference, you're just speaking your mind. Like, you know what I mean? You're being authentic. But sometimes it's how you say it, when you say it, to whom you say it. Like, I mean, you know, outshine the master and the laws and all that. And, you know, to get the point across, we all are, like he said, the world is like, well, what's going on? And so the thing is, not only did he come as a fan and was able to attend with no mask, and the lady he was with, you know, she had a mask on. So kudos to her. But then I guess at halftime he went in, and so they fined the Nets $50,000, which is a, we know in the WNBA, what they fined them, $50,000 for chartering the plane or some shit like that. I mean, they charged them $300,000, some wild craziness. And that's why Brittany, you know, Griner and I said Brittany Griner, I'm thinking of the porn joint. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Shorty that's locked up over there in Russia. Her and a few other WNBA stars or players go over there to substitute that money that they not making over here. So it was like, you know, players could come play here, as the mayor had said. I didn't know, and as soon as when I heard him say it, I came in here and I talked about it. I'm like, oh shit. Entertainers, rappers, other athletes that's not vaccinated, they can come to our city, our town, like we run the city, and indulge in all the festivities. But the people, you know, that's here, and a player like Kyrie, forget his, obviously he's a phenomenal player, so that's why you won on the court as well. But just shit is stupid. And then like, oh, Kevin Durant said, and like I've been saying, healthy what? Like what are we talking about? Whose health? Is it healthy? Is it not healthy? So many spins and back spins, and again, 1 for you, 1 for me. 2 for you, 1, 2 for me. Yo, don't play me. Because right now it's distrust, and it's definitely looking with the side eye. Like, I don't believe you, and you definitely need more people. So now, you know, what should be done? Should they overturn it right away? And obviously, do it got to go through Albany? And, you know, can he just wake up one morning like, know what I mean? I wake up, stare at the ceiling. I'm alive. What a beautiful feeling. Let me just call her. Listen, you know, that mandate that's going on right now, cancel that, and we're going to see Kyrie to play. And then hit the other line. You know he got mad people on the bat line. Your Kyrie got lifting. I mean, you ain't even got to wait till the news come out. I'm lifting up. You can play tonight. Suit up. And I'm putting $500,000 on you. 1 pick. Shout out to my nigga Larry. What's good, Larry? Shout out to my nigga Larry Love, all the way out there in Vegas. Put $100,000 on the 1 pick. You know what I mean? Crazy. Shit crazy. Should they lift it? Should they have fined Brooklyn with a $50,000 fine, which is a slap on the wrist, because he went to the locker room? Now that is some odd, you know, per rules, problems like, all right, you came as a fan. It wasn't like you was off and you traveled with the team and you just had to sit on the sideline, or maybe he couldn't sit on the sideline. I really don't know, but it's like, fuck it. If he could sit on, I have to Google that. If he could sit on the sideline and it's different, like, yeah, because then that way you can go into the locker room with them. But you come through on some Brooklyn, like Lavis son from, I mean, Bestavis son, representing BK to the fullest. You know what I mean? Gats are bucking when Big be bucking, chicken heads be clucking in my back room. It ain't nothing. They know Big be handling with the Mac. You know what I mean? You come through like that, obviously with that jacket on. I thought it was some aluminum. I was kind of looking and seeing like it looked like it was crazy. You know what I mean? Like a dude with some horse heads, and you know what I mean? Kevin Durant looked at the shit. I guess it was some fly shit. You know what I mean? Maybe because it cost $100,000 on the one pick. But I'm being funny, but I'm not. $150,000 slap on the wrist. Should they end it? Should they end it soon? Do you think they're gonna end it before the playoffs, before the real playoffs? And do you think they got a chance? I think if the chemistry stay like this, if Ben Simmons could come back, we can talk about him. I spoke about him as well. Same day he came out with Harden with the press conference. You know what I mean? And they both did their little 1-2s and expressed what they're gonna bring to the table. When woo, Harden 2 in a row. Well, they lost to Brooklyn, barely beat Orlando yesterday, and then maybe they was tired. And real quick on the side note, while we speaking of Philly, I said, and I don't jinx nobody, I don't pray on nobody, this ain't no Madden curse or none of that, but because of the trade that they made and the value that they got back, got DeAndre Jordan. I mean, he had a good career. Obviously, Chris Paul, and out there in a few different places, you lob it up, I dunk it on your head, nuts on your head for a long time. You know what I mean? Doing your 1-2s, then you get moved around. If Joel Embiid missed any significant amount of time, and he's what they got to go to produce, just with Harden, Thibault, Tobias Harris, quiet. Quiet in the back, like, know what I mean? And if not quiet, at best, looking a little shaky, a little nervous, a little shaky, a little nervous at best. When you getting out the East, like when the East is in the house, oh my God. Yeah, you got Boston, you got Miami, and I got the Bucks tonight. They down right now, but yeah, I got the Bucks tonight. One pick, figure they ain't gonna lose twice to Utah. Mm-hmm. They already lost to Utah earlier in the season. East is tough, and it's gonna stay tough because teams is jockeying for position and getting better. So he came down hard tonight. It didn't really look like a flagrant foul. They gave him a flagrant. You know what I mean? Ball, 2 shots in the ball, and they still lost by 4. Go figure. Vegas on the back line, and we had Denver tonight. I said, damn, back-to-back. Struggled yesterday against a bum-ass Orlando team. Had to fight and claw all the way back. That takes a lot of a little energy. Gladiators, are you not entertained when you get the big bucks like Mike and them coming out every night putting foot to ass? And a lot of players don't do that, and I was surprised that he played. And James Harden. But they both played. He fell hard. Got up, you know what I mean, and he probably gonna be out a couple days. Let's just put it that way. Obviously the fall looked harder than what they saying, but yeah, you didn't fall. The announcer was saying this shit like he fell 7-1 feet like on your ass, like the ass bone, and immediately you could see he just was wrenching with pain, even though he got up. So anybody that fell on their ass bone or their back, they know what that's like. That shit ain't nothing nice. And he already had back problems. Oh, Ben Simmons too, you know what I mean? Like the process. They did all that and got 2 phenomenal players, but a little injury prone, and the back is nothing to play with like Kevin Porter. But anyway, they lost, and so now, you know what I mean? It's looking a little shaky, a little nervous. But I got Brooklyn making the end game playoff. Obviously, we're gonna see what Kyrie do. Do you think it's gonna be lifted before the playoffs? Do you think it'll be a little too late? You know what I mean? Let's get to this shit. Because apologize to who? Like who? Who are we apologizing to? And you apologize to anybody that you did wrong, and you man enough or woman enough to admit that you wrong, and you just apologize. It's that simple. But this is for they be limiting your titles and shit. Well, that's why I said apologize to you. But I'm talking about what is it, Bosco 100, and I'm bringing this up because he's an internet guy. Obviously, you know, we got the rep, etc. And I don't know him on a personal level, obviously. But I know when he was going at Kevin Samuels, because that's who he apologized to. And like most of y'all, I've talked about this already. I was running through these YouTube streets, running across these social media platforms, and they should have never. Like, yo, I'm here now. And they should have never let me. And I came across both of, you know, they content, they pages. Obviously, this is around the average at best, but a little before that. And so he didn't like the shit he was saying, but I guess, you know, while I'm speaking about it, I'm just saying it's like somebody who's considered, you know, gangster or thuggish, or you got that, you know what I mean, persona, whether it's, you know, validated or not. Obviously, some niggas is gangster, you know what I mean, and some niggas is street niggas. When you can apologize or, you know, admit your wrongs, it's a win-win in my opinion, because everybody that's tough and hard and hands of steel, 5 fingers of death, especially when you're black and you just keep whipping on, you never do nothing to nobody else. You never got that energy for nobody else. And I'm not saying you should. You be walking around looking for people that's the other to do harm to them. Not saying that. You know, niggas trip up your words. But I am saying when I'm out and about, have to be cognizant of, oh yeah, it could get ill for me. Cause, oh, I'm light-skinned, but I'm black. Yeah, it could get ill for me. And anybody else could just come and go, do what they want. Obviously, shit happens to everybody. And it can happen to anybody in any barrel. They got your brain on scramble. Shout out to my nigga Swift. Don P, that is. He came out and he apologized. Like, yo, and he said, well, I think Kevin has said something like, I didn't really understand what he was saying fully. It sounded slick. It sounded like when you put the beat on, you will be shocked and amazed. And it is some people that can dazzle you with their speech. They're very articulate, very eloquent of speech. And in the Holy Scriptures, they talk about stuff like this. People that they got the gift of gab, and they'll have you go in your pocket like, oh, here, take everything. Take everything. I take the Civic, just put some rims on it. You know what I mean? Locks reference. But he said, you know, he apologized and he came hard on him, thought he was a little, you know what I mean, on the indoor tip, thought he was a bag, you know what I mean? Thought he was like people were saying he's gay, whatever. And I spoke about that. But he apologized. But anyway, Kev said, you know, he said the woman, he said, this is a man speaking. He says, you belong to me, which is the woman. The kids belong to you, the woman, and I belong to God. So this made, you know, Bosco 100, apologize to him and say, yo, that was deep, and for whatever reasons, maybe, you know, obviously people that run the streets or street niggas, they, you know, they believe in higher power too. And, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So, you know, as time turns for all of us, totally, there was no other way. We in the end game, that's for everybody. So, you know, that be a misconception too. People don't, you know, street people don't believe in God, or they wouldn't do, or, you know, just side note. So maybe that's what touched him. And he was like, let me reach out and apologize. Should never be too big to apologize. You know what I mean? Especially when you in the wrong and you just being the troll, or you just doing the most because you down with the fuckery and you want to swim in the fuckery and keep the buffoonery at an all-time high. I'm like, all right, respect to you, bro. And anybody that can, you know, apologize or admit when they're wrong. Like, nah, I shouldn't have did that, or I was a little out of it, or whatever the case may be. And let's talk to this shit though about what he said. Because, you know, he's a glaring, he's a polarizing, you know what I mean? Like, Kevin, that is. Obviously, because of all the hate, people saying, talking about his sexuality, talking about his child support, his failed marriages, and people keep spinning the clip like the Black Light podcast. The other light-skinned nigga, spin the clip. They keep spinning the clip on him like whole shows, everything is about him. You know what I mean? And I'm not knocking anybody that do that. Get it how you get it. You know what I mean? I know over here, PopUl's TV, like it's full transparency. That means I can see you and, oh, you can see me because my shit is open and I'm not hiding. Got nothing to hide. Come on in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video. You know what I mean? He blew the fuck up in a small period of time to where he talking to the Nicki Minaj's, doing the, you know, the Britney, you know, Grinner, Rana, whatever, Ronnie, Britney, whatever the fuck her name is. You know what I mean? The porn star chick, porn star. You know, he did the Tasha, he did so many things. T.I., that interview never came out, obviously, because T.I., you know, still facing them charges or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? Sex trafficking and all this other bubblegum shit that 2 years later they're gonna be like, it wasn't enough proof to bring the charges, like this Deshaun Watson shit. And so obviously he blew the fuck up, and whether you like him or not, you hate him or not. Let's get to the statement. I mean, I thought it was, had to listen, like I said, like, huh, what is that about? And we all, belong to God. You know what I mean? And that, we his creation. So everything that's his creation is, you're under him. Like on Pun album said, like these fucking rappers, like you under Don Corleone, nigga, this shit, but you under us. Like you're under us. We're all under. And so, and what this life and gift that he give us every day, we do with it as we please. That's why in the end, you're going to be held accountable for each and every second and hour of what you're doing. And I gave the analogy of every hour of your life is a treasure chest. When you open it up, what's in there? A lot of people, self-included, is nothing. You know what I mean? Wake up in the morning, you know what I mean? Kick your feet up. Watch you a comedy roller, you know what I mean? Take a shit and roll some weed up. You know what I mean? Like on the damn album. And you don't got to be in jail to be doing time. You just caught up in the matrix. And so you got a lot of hours, a lot of days, months zoom by. Like, damn, what the fuck have I done? What have I been doing? And that's in the end game. But we all children of God. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just the order, I think. You know what I mean? That's what I really got out of this. Like, the animal kingdom, and we all close to them, so we have intelligence and rationale. You know what I mean? We can rationale some shit. And you can ration me some, you know what I mean, chicken dinners. That feeling, I'm being funny, but I'm not. Talking about money though, when I say ration. When you divvy it up, everything is just in order. And it just seems like for the, last lot of years, when men and women and, the wars going on outside, the order is off. You know what I mean? Whatever your reason thinking is, you ain't leading strong enough, and you this and independent this and woo this and all that. I think that's just pretty much what he was saying. Like, the man is going to submit to the higher power, as he should. Anybody saying they ain't God, that's your belief. But negative. If this was Coach Greg Adam, I'd be hitting the button like, negative. You know what I mean? You're going to die. You're going to go back to dirt, and ash going to be, you know what I mean? We all will. Hopefully you got life insurance. You ain't leaving that burden on the next person. Preferably your moms or your girl, your sister, or somebody be like, damn, you was running the streets like Captain Save 'em, got gunned down, laid them, and now they got to pay, for your funeral because you was doing some dumb shit. But we all going to go back. And the thing is, when it comes to the structure, again, we submit to God, you know what I mean? We the maintainer and protector of the women and the children as it should be. And things move, smoother that way. I could be wrong. I could not know some shit, you know what I mean? Leave it in the comments. You already know what it is. It's your boy, Popovitz. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovitz Teeth. That's this right here. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here. One more again. Yeah, kid.